Hello, 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 and what is going on, everybody? I am Master of the TDS, and I'm joined by my lovely wife,
WritingRaven.
and we're back for another episode of Psycho-Synopsis. 3 topics from the past week, all summarized in one video for you to enjoy and consume at your leisure.
You're welcome. Now let's get into it.
Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones is such an everyman. You know, people can relate to him. He's not perfect. He's not a superhero. He's just a regular guy who cares about what he does.
Can you hold my beer?
Now we have the opportunity to tell a new Indiana Jones story for a modern gaming audience.
I am Mickey Mouse.
How dare he?
He chose poorly.
We are screwed.
No kidding.
Upcoming in 2024, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is an action-adventure game by Machine Games, Bethesda, and Xbox, set between Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade, offering a mix of first-person and third-person gameplay.
And it already looks like it's going to be dead before arrival. So, as we said, it's set between Lost Ark and Last Crusade, which honestly doesn't sound too bad.
What does sound bad, though, is, and this is just a personal opinion, if you disagree, you're welcome to, but it says it offers a mix of first-person and third-person gameplay. Now, I like survival type of games, so this would be up my alley if it wasn't for the fact that it was Indiana Jones.
Yeah, plus switching between third person and first person in a game is going to be extremely confusing.
It's also that it's Indiana Jones, and you don't expect to be Indiana Jones. You expect to play Indiana Jones.
Yes, there is a distinction. And the Great Circle in the title refers to the Great Circle historical mystery.
Yeah, it's basically a mystery where if you were to draw a line around the world through different, cultural significant points of human history, it would create a circle, and they're the keepers of the Great Circle.
I mean, it would literally just encircle the circumference of the world. So yes, it would be a circle.
So it's developed with Lucasfilm, Todd Howard, and other people, and they're going for authenticity to the Indiana Jones franchise. But that begs the question. Okay, so maybe about the third-person elements, whatever, might not be as much fun, but why are we covering this?
Because of the person announcing it who said the words modern audience, and looks like one of those people who is immediately suspicious because they're dressed like an SJW.
Just because they're dressed that way doesn't mean they're necessarily going to be bad for the franchise. If they're a fan, that's great for them. But when you see people dressed a certain way and you hear certain comments, especially these days, you can't help but have some kind of worry about the project.
It's like we've been conditioned to go, ooh, no thank you, as soon as we see that.
Exactly. Now, if we're wrong, we'll gladly eat our words.
Of course we will. We've done it before, and we'll happily do it again if we are proven wrong.
Yeah, we're fine admitting we're wrong, if that comes to it. Now, the issue here is also that this is coming off of the flop that was Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
You mean the Dial of Dysentery?
Or as I like to call it, the Dial of Destiny.
You haven't done that in a while.
Nope. But Indiana Jones has not done well. It's a franchise that I like. It's a franchise I know that you like and a lot of people like.
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of it, but I do enjoy it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It was enjoyable for everybody. And the thing is, they're now trying to say, oh, they got to change it. They got to make a woman. They got to do this. They don't need to. You can keep things the way they're supposed to be and keep them to their roots, but then change certain elements to make them more relatable to the audience you're catering to. That's okay. But when you change the entire thing to try to only cater to an audience that you decided you want, rather than the people who already loved it all this time, that's when it becomes a problem.
I mean, one thing that will get me a little more on board is if they bring in an actual archaeological consultant, because Indy is supposed to be an archaeologist, so if they actually get someone who knows archaeology and can give them terminology and different things to actually focus on, that would be better for them, I think.
Now, I did watch the developer commentary where the clip was taken from. And it does seem like a lot of them are fans of it, and it does seem like they're trying to do a good job. But as we said before, when you see certain signs, you can't really help but be skeptical. But you dare say that on Twitter, you're a bad person.
I know. It's ridiculous. I miss opinions.
It's okay to have a different opinion than me, but you don't have to tell me I'm wrong when all history has shown that, yes, when people are like this, it becomes a problem. And that's okay. If it's wrong, we'll gladly go back on it. But for now, we have a healthy dose of skepticism just because we've been burned too many times.
Exactly.
Should we hope for a season 2?
I don't think so. I think we blew our budget, and Disney was like, no thanks.
Oh, wow.
Stop it. Get some help.
Disney is reportedly reevaluating the possibility of a second season for She-Hulk Attorney at Law, despite Tatiana Maslany's comments on budget constraints, with ongoing adjustments in Marvel Studios' plans making it less likely for now.
They really should just can it completely. I mean, the main actress even said that there might not be a season 2 given how they, quote, blew the budget, end quote.
Yeah, so she actually did say that on a live stream. Now, also something to consider is that we've heard so many times, now I have yet to see proof of this, but we've heard so many times how Marvel is kind of restructuring things, and they're going to make changes, and they're going to make sure to make quality over quantity. I have yet to see it, but they're planning that, so if that's what they're going for, it would actually make sense not to greenlight this abomination.
Indeed. And it is certainly not the She-Abomination. Get it?
Is that a thing?
No, fortunately, no, it is not a thing.
Well, now because we've just voiced it, now it will become a thing.
I'm sorry. Plus, the budget was ridiculously high, more than than even some Marvel movies. Where did all that money go? Because it certainly did not go to the animators.
Now, actually, something funny to point out is that She-Hulk actually cost more to make as a show than the first Avengers movie.
Wah, wah.
That is absolutely insane that they spent that much money on a TV show, especially one that was as divisive as this one.
Like I said, did the animators actually get paid for this? Very likely not.
Now, something to point out that a lot of other people haven't covered is that Kevin Feige has confirmed, this is a confirmation, that She-Hulk will be making an appearance in at least one theatrical MCU release in the future, meaning that while this show may not come back, we haven't seen the last of She-Hulk.
Oh dear.
Honestly, I've always been a fan of She-Hulk. I liked She-Hulk. I liked the comic. I still like the comic. Didn't like what I saw on the TV screen. Unfortunately, they tried too hard to make it funny and to be meta and make it that the bad guy was the trolls online. You're fooling yourself. You attacking people who love these properties, love these projects, and you're like, why did nobody come watch this? And why did we blow our budget?
Maybe because you guys are being absolutely ridiculous.
I agree.
I mean, what else can we say?
What else we can say is that it would be a really bad decision to greenlight a second season of this, given how expensive it was already alone, and the fact that it was so divisive. Now, people are out there saying, well, I loved She-Hulk, and if you loved it, you're more than welcome to like it.
I still have a problem with the writers admitting that they had no idea what they were doing when writing law scenes, and they didn't even bring in law consultants or hire someone who actually had experience writing law. Why would you admit that?
Because they were too busy getting Megan Thee Stallion to come in so they can have She-Hulk twerking because the Gen Zers love that TikTok stuff.
It hurts. It hurts that these people have jobs as writers. Please, hire me. I will fix it. Let me fix it.
There's no fixing this travesty, honey. I'm sorry. You may be a great writer, again, biased, but I don't think anybody could fix it.
Sad bird noises. I'm a raven. Sad bird noises.
Oh, okay. For a minute, because I thought we were doing the kitty thing, and now we're...
Sad cat noises, then.
Okay. Moving on, but... She's a cat that can transform into a bird and back, I guess. But regardless, She-Hulk could have been great. It could have been done well. They made so many different changes to it, and they changed the origin and all this kind of stuff, and they ruined a lot of characters. And I think that there was a good show in there somewhere, but they obviously needed to get people who actually were familiar with the material, and they need to not claim it's the most accurate series to date.
No.
Just because you made her break the fourth wall a couple times, or a lot, doesn't mean that the character of She-Hulk and her personality was present. It was not.
You didn't even get her origin right. How dare you?
Don't give me hope.
I'm sorry I couldn't give it to you sooner.
Despite initial reports of delays, Lucasfilm refutes claims and states that Stephen Knight is actively working on the script for the Rey Skywalker Star Wars movie, New Jedi Order, though challenges and uncertainties persist in the project's development.
They really should just can it. They would make everyone happy if they can it. So yes, the rumors of it being delayed indefinitely were debunked by Lucasfilm themselves.
So they came on from high and deigned to tell us, yes, you are wrong, but we also don't have a script because we're waiting for the draft of the script.
Not a good sign.
I mean, that doesn't exactly fill me with confidence, not that I had any to begin with.
Plus, previous script writers David Lindelof and Sharmina Boyd-Chenoy were fired due to, quote, creative differences.
Now, you might be wondering, wait, Sharmina Boyd-Chenoy is directing the film. What do you mean about script writing? Well, I've been told, and this is what I've been told, and I take it with a grain of salt, because I do not know if this is true. I have been told that Sharmina Boyd-Chenoy was very much more involved with the scriptwriting process until she gave in something that they didn't like. They decided to pass on it. And now they can't technically fire her because she's made a big public statement and all this kind of stuff, especially in the New Year's. So they've just quietly fired her due to creative differences. This could be complete BS. I have no clue or no way of confirming it. So again, making it very clear, this is a rumor. I have no other knowledge besides this. This is what I was told.
I mean, it would be a good move if it is true.
It would also make sense because one of the things they've also said
is that Stephen Knight is actively working on the script for this movie.
Yeah, and again, Sharmina Boyd-Chenoy was never a scriptwriter. She was the director, but the director still has some input on the screenplay and stuff like that. And the fact that they're waiting for a script on this and they don't even have one, yet they're claiming it's not delayed, doesn't bode well, because what if they decide they don't like that script?
Then they have to write another script.
Exactly. With no script, they can't begin production. And if they can't begin production, who knows when this thing's coming out? So yes, maybe it's not delayed, but who knows if it's ever going to come out?
Hopefully never.
I think that the reaction on social media was the most important thing to look out for. There are a lot of people saying Rey's amazing or whatever, but when the rumor came out that it was delayed indefinitely,
people were very happy.
People were celebrating. There were people who were like, well, we still like Rey. And it's like, well, this post has 500 likes and like a bazillion views in like 24 hours versus other people who were saying how they were so happy about it. Like they were getting hundreds of thousands of likes and a bunch of attention. The majority of people do not like Rey. I understand that there are some people who do, but the majority has spoken.
Yeah, she's not well written, she's very annoying, has absolutely no personality, is way too overpowered, is too good at everything, does not actually learn anything, does not earn anything, does not go through any hardships, and doesn't actually want anything. All the things she is lacking are the reason she is not a true character.
And want to make very clear, while we do not like the Rey character, we have no problem with Daisy Ridley.
No. She is a fine actress, but Star Wars did ruin her career.
And the fact that she's not gotten much more work and all of her movies haven't really done well shows that she didn't really get a following from the movie. The character Rey may have gotten some following, but Daisy Ridley did not.
Reylos are weird.
It's important to clarify that because apparently there are some weirdos online who, if you dare to say that you don't like the character of Rey, that means that you hate Daisy Ridley and you're bad. And it's like, no, sorry. You know who the people were who were going after Daisy Ridley? The Reylos, who were angry that Adam Driver wasn't dating her.
Yeah, and who actively went to his house, harassed his wife, and, were absolute weirdos, like actual stalkers. Like I said, they are weird. Hell, if they do end up making this movie, they should do themselves a favor and just put it straight to Disney Plus, like that fake poster says. Because if it does end up in the theater, it will not make any movie at all. The only people who are going to actually buy tickets to it are the people who are watching it to roast it.
That, and also there is a rumor out there that they're planning to somehow use this Mandalorian and Grogu movie to bring Grogu into the Rey movie so they can interact together. That would actually be a decent call, but we'll have to wait and see. I don't think they can do much with it as of this point, and Baby Yoda isn't going to save you.
Nothing will save you.
Okay, let's do this. Therapy. This way for the therapy.
And now it is time for the diagnosis of the week.
Where we diagnose the week with a mental illness.
Because someone has to.
And we have an interesting diagnosis for this week.
Do tell.
The diagnosis for this week is confirmation bias.
Please explain.
So, confirmation bias is a cognitive bias that refers to the tendency of individuals to interpret, favor, and recall information in a way that confirms their pre-existing beliefs or hypotheses. The term confirmation bias is commonly attributed to English psychologist Peter Watson.
In relation to today's topics, with Indiana Jones, the senior narrative director's remarks suggest a narrative tunnel vision where those in charge are seemingly engrossed in their own perspectives, potentially neglecting the desires of the fan base.
With She-Hulk, despite widespread criticism, the show's creators appear ensnared by their own vision and intellectual prowess, unwilling to relinquish control even in the face of near-universal acknowledgement of the show's shortcomings.
And with the Rey movie, Lucasfilm's leadership persists in staunchly championing the sequel trilogy, despite its divisive impact on the fan base and the early emergence of numerous challenges.
We see this all the time in Hollywood. These people are out there and they have their own beliefs and own bias, and they will see things from that standpoint. So they will think that everybody likes Rey simply because that's what they want to see. They will think everybody likes She-Hulk because that's what they want to see. They would think everybody wants to be modern audience because that's what they want to see. In reality, the modern audience doesn't exist. She-Hulk was mostly hated, and Rey is not a character that a lot of people have interest in. But these people are so stuck in their ways, they're never going to come to the conclusion on their own. Maybe time will tell. One of the biggest things was the Marvels. If this Rey movie comes out and does anywhere near as bad as the Marvels, I think that might finally wake up some people. But given that it's Hollywood, maybe hitting them over the head with a hammer might be a better option. But at this point, who even knows? And that's why I think this is a great diagnosis for this week.
I agree, and I'll get the hammer.
That is all we have for this week. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and also make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe with notifications on so you do not miss your weekly therapy session.
Or you will be charged.
Feel free to join the channel or leave us a super thanks. Any money contributed to the channel is going to be used for the channel.
And also feel free to check out all of the links in the description below.
But for now, Gothic Therapy out.